What happens when the wisdom of an emperor meets the strength of a warrior? Marcus Aurelius, Rome's Stoic philosopher king, who ruled with calm, balance, and reason. Wonder Woman, the Amazonian champion, forged in battle, sworn to truth, justice, and the defense of the innocent. Serenity versus passion, the discipline of the mind versus the power of the heart. Tonight, ideals clash. The ruler who believed in harmony, and a hero who fights for justice no matter the cost.
I ruled an empire larger than imagination, yet my greatest struggle was never with enemies at Rome's gates, but with the rebellion within my own mind. You speak of strength and justice, Wonder Woman, as though they were weapons drawn in battle. But I tell you, strength is not the lifting of a sword, nor justice the punishment of the wicked. Strength is mastery over the self. Justice is harmony with the order of nature, with reason that governs all. Every man and woman is tested by circumstance. Storms rage, kingdoms fall, lives end. Yet the Stoic way teaches that serenity is not found in avoiding these trials, but in facing them with equanimity. You fight with passion, with fire, with righteous fury. But passion is a flame that consumes, and fury blinds the eyes. The Stoic does not burn with rage, but walks steadily through the fire, untouched, for his soul cannot be moved by fortune or misfortune. What is justice truly? Not victory in war, nor vengeance against those who do wrong. Justice is giving each what is due. Justice is treating friend and enemy alike with fairness, for both are children of the same universe. To strike endlessly against evil is to chase shadows, for the world will always contain both virtue and vice. But if you root out vice from within yourself, you have already conquered the hardest battle. I have seen men who conquered nations but could not govern their own desires. They were praised in life, yet slaves to lust, greed, or anger. What victory is this? You speak of protecting the innocent. Yes, this is noble. But no one is made safe if the protector herself is a prisoner of unchecked emotion. True protection comes from wisdom, from understanding that death, pain, and loss are not evils, but part of the fabric of existence. Imagine, Amazon warrior, a life where your power is not in your arms, but in your calm, where the fiercest enemy cannot disturb your balance, and even fate itself cannot rob you of peace. This is the power of philosophy, greater than the strength of any blade. You fight to change the world. I teach that the world is already governed by reason, by nature, by the logos that orders all. Do not waste your strength raging against inevitability. Instead, accept it, embrace it, and live with virtue, for this is the only true victory granted to mortals. So I ask you, Wonder Woman, is justice served by endless battle, or by serenity that no battle can touch?
Marcus Aurelius, your words carry the weight of wisdom, but wisdom without action leaves the innocent unprotected. You speak of serenity, of balance, of harmony with the natural order. But I was not brought into this world to stand aside and accept injustice as part of fate. I was born to fight it. You tell me that passion consumes, that fury blinds. Yet it was passion that made me step into the world of men, leaving behind the safety of Themyscira. It was fury at cruelty that gave me strength to face gods and monsters. Without that fire, evil reigns unchecked. Without that fire, tyrants rise, and the weak fall in silence. Yes, self-mastery is important. A warrior who loses herself to blind rage is no true defender. But mastery is not the same as detachment. I do not fight because I am prisoner to anger. I fight because love demands it. Love for humanity, for the fragile, flawed, and beautiful lives that deserve more than resignation to nature's order. If death and suffering are inevitable, as you say, then it is my duty to resist them as long as I draw breath. That is justice. You speak of rulers who conquered nations but failed to conquer themselves. I have seen that truth, too. But I also know that conquest of the self means little if it ends in apathy. Serenity alone cannot shield a child from war. Balance alone cannot stop the hand of a murderer. Justice demands more than inner peace. It demands action, sacrifice, and the courage to place oneself between danger and those who cannot defend themselves. You ask if justice is served by endless battle. I answer, yes, if that battle is for the lives of others. Evil may rise again and again, but so long as it does, I will rise too, not because I am blind to the cost, but because I know the cost of silence is far greater. You believe the world is governed by reason, yet reason without compassion is a cold law, indifferent to suffering. I believe in something more, that humanity can change, that love can transform even the cruelest heart, that destiny is not only to be accepted, but to be challenged. I do not rage against inevitability. I fight for possibility. You call serenity the greatest strength. I call justice the greatest duty. And if my path requires me to carry sword and shield until the end of days, then so be it. For I would rather fall defending the innocent than live untouched by the world's pain.
Wonder Woman, your courage and devotion are undeniable, and your commitment to justice inspires admiration. Yet I urge you to consider, what is justice if it is driven solely by impulse, by passion, by emotion unchecked by reason? Strength without wisdom risks becoming tyranny. Action without reflection risks harm to those we aim to protect. True courage is not only the willingness to act, but the willingness to act rightly. You fight to protect, to intervene, to impose good upon a world often cruel and chaotic. But even your noble efforts cannot alter the nature of reality. Suffering, loss, and mortality are universal. A life spent reacting to every injustice, no matter how small, is a life constantly assailed by turmoil, never at peace. Serenity allows one to endure hardship, to see clearly, to act without being consumed by the chaos around us. I do not condemn action, I commend it. But action must be tempered by reason, guided by virtue, aligned with the larger order of things. The soldier who charges blindly into battle may slay many foes, but he also endangers himself and those who follow. The hero who acts without reflection may save a few, yet bring greater calamity unknowingly. Strength is noble. Wisdom is essential. Balance between the two is indispensable. Justice, as you conceive it, is immediate. Virtue, as I teach it, is enduring. The courage to resist temptation, to master oneself, to act with foresight and integrity, this is the ultimate triumph. The world will always present injustice. We cannot control it all. What we can control is our mind, our reason, our ability to choose wisely in each moment. Therefore, true heroism is not only in the sword or the shield, but in the temperance of desire, in the calm assessment of circumstances, in acting where one can do the most good without being consumed. Let strength meet reason, power meet wisdom, and only then can one achieve lasting impact without sacrificing the soul in the process.
Marcus Aurelius, I hear your counsel, and I respect the depth of your wisdom. Reason, virtue, balance, all are ideals worth striving for. But I must remind us both, the world does not wait for deliberation. Injustice does not pause to allow the philosopher to reflect. Children die, the weak are oppressed, the innocent suffer, while one contemplates serenity. I do not act blindly. I act with intention, with compassion, with honor. My strength is not merely physical. It is guided by empathy, by the knowledge that action carries responsibility. Reflection informs my choices, yes, but it does not paralyze me. To stand idle, because the outcome cannot be perfect, is to betray all those who rely on me. You speak of enduring hardship and mastering the self. I do this as well, but mastery of the soul does not require an action. Courage and wisdom are not opposites. They coexist in the warrior who chooses to fight for others while tempering her impulses. Power and reason, emotion and intellect, they must dance together. That is the essence of true heroism. Your world values patience and measured response. Mine demands immediacy and decisive action. Yet I agree with you that unchecked strength is dangerous. Therefore, I wield it with restraint, but I wield it nonetheless. For every moment spent hesitating is a moment in which injustice claims another victim. The balance you speak of is not absence of action. It is the harmonization of purpose, courage, and ethical choice in every battle we face. So let us not see this as a conflict between action and reflection, but as a challenge to integrate both. Strength must be guided by virtue. Virtue must be enacted through strength. Only then can justice prevail, and only then can one achieve greatness in the world without losing oneself in the process. I fight, I reflect, I strive, and I endure. That is my path. And if the choice is between being serene but passive or active with thoughtful purpose, I will choose the latter every time. The world needs defenders, not bystanders, and wisdom must walk alongside courage to truly serve it.
Tonight, we witness a clash of strength and reason. Wonder Woman showcased courage, power, and relentless drive to act for justice. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that true mastery comes from calm reflection, self-discipline, and acting with virtue in alignment with a greater order. Action and wisdom are not enemies. They complement each other. Who truly conquers life? The hero who strikes with power, or the philosopher who commands his mind? Watch closely, reflect, and decide for yourself. Who do you think won? Comment below and subscribe for more transformative clashes of minds and might.